Good morning, world, and welcome to episode 66 of Tuesday Morning Quarterbacks, where your co hosts Jay and Cody meet you at the intersection of humor and sports expertise. If you're a new listener, welcome to the pod. And if you're a loyal listener, welcome back. We're coming to you on Wednesday, April 16th, after conducting our test to make sure y'all were still listening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we did have quite a few people reach out today wondering where the podcast was. So, congratulations, listeners. You have passed the test, and we
Mm-hmm.
will continue to record podcasts for you guys.
That's correct, Cody. And they'll continue to find us on X at TMQBs and then also on TikTok at Tuesday MQBS. And then if you search on Spotify, Cody, or if you want to search on YouTube, you just search Tuesday Morning Quarterbacks spelt out
Right
and
up.
we'll pop right up for them. So a day late, not a dollar short, but we're here. It's we're creeping up on Easter. Happy Easter to everyone this week.
Yeah.
Um, Still in that no man's land. April. This is going to be dropping April 16th, so we're halfway through April. April showers are bringing the May flowers. I haven't seen many showers though this April. Just pointing that out. I've always thought that saying was false. I think it rains more in May.
Yeah, you've said
Um,
that before. I
yeah.
remember. We
Nonetheless,
should. Do
man,
you keep up with it?
I just do it off of feel and the eye test, and that's how I keep up with it.
Do you think it's
And
true in different parts of the world, and that like when that was created, it was from someone who lived in a certain place where it does rain more in April?
that's got to be it. Something to do
Mm.
with the longitude and latitude of wherever the saying came up. It didn't come up in the 919 though. That's for sure, man.
Mm.
But warmer weather's upon us. Um, I'm starting to really remember what summer is going to be like. How it's all fine and dandy, but there are miserable parts to the summer, just like there are to the cold, Cody. Like it's going to be hot, and there's going to be bugs, man.
Yeah,
There's going to be
you're
bugs.
especially over there in the 919. You know how it is, man. It's you're nearing the point of the year where every time you go outside, you're going to break a sweat until early October.
Yeah,
It's coming. It's
yeah,
about 5 or 6 months, I would say,
yeah. That
maybe five.
it's long, dude. Just wanted to let you know, Cody. I sent it to just you. I saw a report that apparently we're getting rid of daylight savings time. I don't know if it's just
Again,
a bunch of mumbo jumbo or if it's the real deal Holyfield this time.
they've said it before, but that it's always good news. I just hope they follow through with it. Did it say
Mhm.
when?
I'm guessing we would just keep living life like we've been living life this past month forever.
Mm.
I'm guessing it would go into effect and then November would roll around and we wouldn't fall back this time around.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be the best case scenario for all of America, except for
Yeah,
Arizona, because
they've
they're
already
already
been
doing
doing
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
We've had a lot go on this week, Cody. I know it might not seem like it, but Rory completed his Grand Slam, won the Masters.
That's right. He tried to choke that, by the way. He did. It was actually crazy because he imploded on day one. I don't know if you saw it. And he was four under, and then on like 15 and 17, he had double bogeys and he finished the day even. And then he was, the leader by the end of day three. And then he he hit one in the water when he had like a three-shot lead halfway through the round. And then um on 18, he had like a 3 or 4 footer to seal it and missed it. It went to a playoff. He finally won it there, but he tried to give that away multiple times.
Mm.
But
Well, I'm happy held on. for this is not a live player, correct, Cody?
Not a live player, but I something caught my eye. Um, I hate to speculate, but it caught a lot of people's eye. He embraced, uh, I believe it was Justin Rose's wife for a suspicious amount of time after winning it. Justin Rose,
Just
he's another golfer. He was the one in the playoff.
he got silver.
Silver, he hugged her for a long time and people noticed. People noticed. I also stumbled across some allegations on Rory. Um,
Hearsay.
I think they're hearsay, so we won't. I guess we can't confirm anything, but I got my eye out. Let's say that.
Ears are perked up,
Mm-hmm.
tails wagging a little bit. You're on something,
I'm on
Cody.
alert.
What's
I am
up
on
with him
alert.
embracing the opponent's lady after victory?
And it wasn't just like a hug. It wasn't a friend hug. It was maybe those families are close. I don't know, but
Spend a little vacation, family
yeah.
vacations together or something.
He ain't guilty of anything right now, but I'm just letting you know it caught my eye.
All
And
right.
that's all I can say about it right now.
Is he married?
I believe he is married with children.
Where's Rory from? Do you know which country?
Um, I could guess.
Let's go with the UK, huh? United Kingdom, because
I
that's
was gonna
like
say,
four countries in one, ain't it?
is Scotland one of those?
Yep, they're in there.
I think he's from Scotland,
The UK, nonetheless, I
UK.
guess.
Should we
Well,
even look that up? Probably
I'm
not.
excited to see what his menu is next year, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited that I guess he got the monkey off his back because he's been known to choke a few in his day. So I didn't
I
watch a
think
single
he
stroke
choked
in this
last year.
tournament.
I think he choked in the U.S. Open last year.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's the Masters tournament for you, brother. You got
Yeah.
any other thoughts and sounds from Augusta?
No, man. It was it was a fun Sunday. There was, three people tied at 10 strokes under with about two to play, uh, with two holes left. So it was a fun finish. Very fun finish.
That's what we all want in the end.
Mm-hmm.
A good
Mm-hmm.
finish. Cody, I know we're gonna be filling some holes here. We're gonna talk a little NBA basketball for a short little stint, mainly because we got to put our unblemished record on the line and pick some winners as
Correct.
we got another tournament. Uh, 20 teams in a playoff where the league I think is 30 teams.
It's
It's a little
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Play-in started last night. Oklahoma City Thunder are the one seed in the West. The Cleveland Cavaliers without LeBron are the one seed in the East. You got the
Mm-hmm.
Celtics at your two in the East, and you got the defending champions. That's who the Celtics are, and then you also got the Rockets as the two seed in the West. Um, this is one. I need your finals, and then I need your winner. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you need to hear a few more matchups. I got it pulled up if you do.
I'm looking at them right now. Um, and I'd really like to make a conditional conditional pick. Whereas if the Warriors win their playing game Tuesday night, uh, can I do that?
Uh, sure, man. Yeah, Warriors are going to be in. They got two chances to get in this play-in.
All right, so hmm, yeah, whatever. I'll put the war. No, I'm not. Let's start with the East. I'm picking the Celtics out of the East.
Mm.
Uh, out of the West, I feel like LeBron's gonna get one more.
One more ring. This would be the year I feel like to get it if
Yeah.
he's gonna get it.
So Celtics Lakers pretty
Mm.
boring. But
It's
that's who
history,
I'm
brother.
going with. Yeah, that's history. And then I'll take the Lakers.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Um, you know, looking at this thing, man, it does kind of like I don't. It feels like anybody could win. You know, not maybe not anybody, but more than the hit. Normally, it's
Especially,
been the growing up in the prime of our NBA
oh man, it
watching.
was
It's
bad.
two teams. It's either
It
the
w-
Warriors or whatever team LeBron's on,
yep.
and that's it. And mainly the Warriors.
That's exactly what it was for a long time.
You could
To
pick the
me,
winner before the season, pretty practically every year for about a 10-year stretch, man.
and for me, I haven't watched hardly any NBA this year, but to me, the West is the conference that looks like anyone through the sixth seed could do it. Um,
Yeah, the West. I feel like they've been stronger our whole life too than the East. They've been
they have
considered superior.
because the East just had LeBron for the
Yeah,
longest time. Yeah.
and trying to all he had to do was get through Mister Paul George, huh? For a decade, and a crippled Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I'm going to go with the Cavaliers over the Timberwolves in the final.
Okay.
No,
Don't,
no, I'm changing. Cavaliers over the Nuggets in the
that's
final.
that's much better for us because we were gonna eliminate one of our choices in the first round. If that
Immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I picked the Timberwolves last year, and I remember they were a 3 seed, Cody. And to see
Mm-hmm.
them as a 6, obviously they're worse. And it's just not their year yet. It'll be their year one year, just not this year.
Did you say Clippers?
Timberwolves,
No, no, no. But who'd you end up picking?
the Nuggets in the West,
The
losing to
Nuggets.
the
I like
Cavaliers.
the Nuggets. That's a good pick. I picked them last year.
Hmm.
You gotta
They
believe in Jokic. How you say it? Jokic?
the Joker.
Great player. Great
Yeah,
player.
defies all odds. If you saw his highlights, come if you put the Joker in the '90s, you'd call him a plumber if you saw his highlights, just because of the way he moves. Man, the slow old man's game, but it works.
Yeah, and I hope if I had to pick between your pick and my pick out of the West, I want your pick to win it because they're likable over there.
What about would you take my team out of the East as well? Because
And
I'd
I don't.
argue Boston's more. I hate Boston more than I hate
Yeah,
the
I
Lakers.
would take anyone over Boston.
Yeah, I
I don't want to pick the wrong team just because I hate Boston. I feel like they're gonna get there.
I I'd rather Boston win than the Lakers. I just don't. I've already. I don't know if you've heard these tracks coming out about LeBron. These songs kids are making of like parody songs.
Uh-huh.
It's
Are
weird,
they funny?
weird. They're pretty funny. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. It's hard to say they're not funny. But this is a 2.5 month long tournament, just about,
It's
which is
insane, dude.
a little ridiculous. This is why baseball, dude. We always get into this. How they go to what is it, best 2 out of 3 in the wild card, or
Oh yeah,
but we
it's two
got,
out of three now, brother, and it's still best of five in the divisional round. It's
but we got
ridiculous.
to sit here and watch. We got to sit here and watch 7 game series between who knows, man.
Yeah.
Let's see right here, the Knicks and the Pistons. Do we really need a 7 game series to figure out who's, you know,
They just have too many teams make the postseason.
it is
You've
cool
got
to see the Pistons in the tournament.
you've
That's
got
who I'm rooting for.
8 teams out of each conference after the playing games. You don't need that many. Like it should be. I like how the NFL does it. But if you want to
So
keep it, if you want to keep it the eight, that's fine. But there should be no playing games if you didn't make the top eight in your conference.
they can
Like,
get rid of the play-in games, man.
yeah,
Especially with I don't get how why that was ever even added with the way the players complained about how many games they're playing
yeah.
already. Get rid of that and let's go ahead and we're still asking for the in-season tournament to be gone. That's the silliest thing in all of major
Oh
sports, dude.
God, yeah. But the NFL, like the one seed getting the bye, you have the extra wild card now, so seven teams from each conference. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it.
me
Um,
too, man.
but it's like you said, dude. It's 20 is too much. 20 is
20 teams making the postseason is just it ain't what it's
it's
not
a
how it's supposed to be.
participation trophy.
Yeah.
You know, you
It
let a
does.
you give a team an opportunity to get hot, or you let a team with a player that like a key player that was hurt all year sneak in, and they're a whole different team. And I I just don't agree with that. I think you should have to win, the whole season, um,
Mhm.
show a good body of work, make the playoffs, and
I don't think a playing team will ever win the tournament, Cody. That's the bottom line.
I sure hope not.
I really don't think they ever will. Is I don't know.
Are you calling it a tournament on purpose as like a slight to the NBA? Or are you just calling it a tournament?
Instead of playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this graphic that says play in tournament, which that's a tournament. The
Oh,
whole thing isn't a tournament, I guess.
it's
I don't
kind
know
of
the
a
true
tournament.
thing. It isn't not a tournament. There's
Yeah.
a bracket.
Yeah.
Winner plays the winner.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna stop calling it that because I personally don't think I should be calling it that. Just because that's March Madness is our basketball
I
tournament.
don't think you're wrong for calling it a tournament, though.
Thank you. I think you're right on that. I am not wrong. Um, we're going to keep it in the basketball world for a little bit, Cody. WNBA
I
draft
have a
was
question for you before we go to WNBA.
okay.
Are you going to watch any of these when the first round starts here in a few days? Are you going to watch any of those? Because I don't think I'm watching any first round games.
I'll probably maybe if the two that I'd like maybe to tune into if it gets to like game five, if it turns into a good series or both the 3-6 matchups, I could see myself cutting on the the Lakers and Timberwolves at some point maybe, and then could see myself watching the Pistons and Knicks just because that sounds like some basketball I might be able to get behind, man. So Detroit Pistons, they just sound like a team that's tough. And
It's
I know the
because of the
Knicks,
bad boy. It's because the bad boy
yeah,
Pistons, man.
yeah,
You
and they
automatically you
haven't
think
been
of Bill
there.
Lambier just slaughtering people in the lane.
And you can even go back to '04, man. They were tough then when
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey Billups and who was their big man, dude?
Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Um, I might watch, but it'd have to be when the tournament gets to two because that game five is always pretty interesting because that's normally the winner of the of everything.
And you do not, if you're picking a team, and you do not want them playing past game five in the first round. That's generally not a
No,
good sign for the
mm-mm.
rest of their tournament.
You
If they
want
win in
gentlemen
seven,
sweeps
you
or
can
less?
assume they're probably getting beat in five in the next round.
That's right. I want to see some Cinderellas in this league, man. That's what I
Why?
want.
It's why I almost picked the Warriors, but it's like they've won so much.
Yeah, that wouldn't even count as
They
a Cinderella.
no, even there though they're a low seed. When you've got Steph Curry, it doesn't count.
Like the Knicks coming out the East would be a Cinderella to me, and they're the 3 seed. Just because the Knicks, I've never seen them in the finals, Cody.
Weren't they in the
Uh,
conference finals last year? I want to say they got beat by the Celtics. I think.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
But
because I think they handled the Sixers. They forced Joel Embiid into an early retirement.
I know I've seen the Hawks bounce the Knicks in recent memory. I remember Trey Young. New York hates Trey Young. That's all I
Mm.
remember from it.
Man, these big men. You talked about the Joker earlier. I just thought about Embiid because we talked about the 76ers. You look at them move on TV and it's like a snail. It's like a snail just trying to move their feet every time they touch the ball. If they actually called travels in the NBA, these bigs travel every time they touch it because they're too big. They can't control their feet. It's, it's amazing to me how good they are, but just look so goofy. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
But
It
I guess
looks
being
it looks
7 feet,
wrong.
it
Yeah,
does look it looks wrong, man.
but
It
when they
looks
allow them to get away with all these non-basketball moves in basketball, I guess you're it like you can get away with that stuff, and that's why they look funny while being 7 foot.
then like think about Wemby. I'll just say Wemby. I
Yeah,
can't pronounce that name. Uh dude, when he drives, I don't understand how his just body doesn't snap in half. He
I don't understand how the ball gets back up to his hand most of the time, dude. Like
yeah.
being that big and moving, I don't know. Um, I guess we'll be tuned in a little bit. We'll check in, to this tournament every week, and hell, we'll probably still be in the play-in tournament by the time it comes around next week, just because that's how long this tournament takes. This NBA playoffs, it'll be summer when this ends. It'll be June
Oh,
twenty
it,
first
it will be
easily.
June. Yeah, this tournament's an absolute grind, dude. I mean, that's some people in the NBA, the players that just want money and don't care about championships, this is their favorite time. They get like 2.5 extra months of off season compared to
Yeah,
these guys
yeah,
that are,
that's big,
yeah,
dude. Because preseason basketball is October.
yeah.
So these cats, the Hornets off every year from
They get six
mid-April to
months off,
October.
dude. Yeah.
Now, if you're Boston, you're playing. He, you'll be back. You'll be off in July. See you in beginning of October. You get two
Yeah.
months off instead.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's a good
Um,
catch. It's a good catch, Jay.
the what's also insane is how the Women's National Basketball Association, Cody, also known as the WNBA,
Yep.
their draft
They play
coming.
basketball too.
They so apparently WNBA draft is a week after the women's college basketball ends, and
I didn't
and
remember
this
that.
and then the season starts 2 weeks after the draft.
It's crazy.
That is, look,
They need to do something about that.
somebody's got to look around at the other professional leagues in this world and realize there's a way to do things and there's a way not to do things. And I think you want your rookies to go to some sort of practice for longer than 2 weeks before you just throw them into this league and
Yeah.
say, I mean, the
And
season,
not to mention their bodies ain't getting no rest between
no,
they just played a full college basketball season.
they just played 40 games. They're about to play, I think the WNBA season's 40 games long. There's just, I don't know. I think there's a better way to go about your season. And like you said, these girls just played 40 games. I don't know. The NFL doesn't do it. The NBA doesn't do it. Major
Baseball
League
does it.
Baseball. Yeah, but that's their own category, the way their draft and
Well, and it's just a little bit different for baseball because by the time the College World Series ends and all that, like these guys that get drafted are usually going to play, A ball, high A ball. that season is almost over. So, and baseball's just a little different too.
Yeah.
Not as
I
hard,
just
not
thought
as
that was
hard on the body.
really strange, dude. Mainly that they're starting games. I see a game May 2nd. The draft was last night. That's 2 weeks.
I feel like
The, it doesn't
their
make sense to
season
me.
should just start in like October when
Yeah,
the NBA plays. Just sync
correct,
it up.
man. I think you're right. I know they're trying to go for a window where they're kind of the only thing on television, which is where they're at. So maybe if that's the case, though, well, you can't do the draft until college basketball's over. You push it
Mm,
back a month, though. Give these girls at least a month of, maybe a month and a half of being getting acclimated to their new franchise and the league they're in. I don't
yeah.
know.
It is
Um,
crazy to just jump from one league to the next with almost no buffer time.
yeah,
Hmm.
I don't. I I just don't get. I'm guessing there's stuff they got to learn. I guess you can learn it in 2 weeks. Basketball
Plays.
playbooks shouldn't be this deep, but or probably aren't. I don't know, man. It's just a short time. Paige Beckers was the number one pick. I don't know if you know,
I
out of
think I saw
UConn.
that. Yeah.
But that's about it I got for that, man. I just wanted to
Well,
address that.
maybe the coaches just since they only have about a week and a half to get them up to speed, they just use that Coach Carter method of coaching and say we're not even going to worry about offense right now.
Nope.
You
Let's
know,
run.
here's your defense. I had three crazy sisters, so on and so forth. I don't know, man. I think basketball is more straightforward than like football as far as learning plays. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know
Put the
what a
ball in the
2-3
basket.
zone. You know what a 2-3 zone is. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that translates. So,
And I wonder how long it takes for them to get acclimated to the jump and competition, though. Like even at practice, you're
yeah, I
only there.
bet that's crazy.
There's no training camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
weird.
Um. All right, Cody. Enough with this sports talk, man.
Hmm.
Ready to get into a little something else first.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to the sports world, but our show's back. The Last of Us premiered season two
Ooh.
premiered on Sunday night, 9 o'clock.
Mm.
Our
Six
girl,
o'clock Pacific time.
yes, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. That's
Hmm.
normally what my mind's going on.
Hmm.
This show, dude, I really like it. It's so intense all the time. Like when that girl, when they were, it kind of bothered me they were allowed to go in there, but into this building. I don't know if listeners are going to know what we're
They're
talking
not the we're the main girl. I'm not surprised. That's her personality, but like they should get in trouble for not following the rules
about. Correct.
because the dude was very clear. Listen to your patrol leader, and then they just think they're what Rambo. They're just gonna go in here
Invincible.
and ignore the rules. Yeah, and invincible and um almost paid the ultimate price.
Well, our girl is kind of invincible,
But
and
she's not invincible from getting ripped open. They said that in season one, I think.
yeah,
Like
she can live off of a bite.
you can get bit, but if you didn't have that, if she didn't have that pistol right there and that thing had ripped her open, she would die.
Why is that? So I got some questions. One, why is she so mad at Joel when she doesn't know what he did? Do you think it's just intuition?
I do. I guess. Well, I think part of it is she's a teenager. Um,
Yeah.
teenagers, puberty, a lot of
Mhm.
emotions going on, male
People
and
forget
female.
about puberty, man.
Yeah, it's a weird place, right? So I think she's got a lot of emotions, and I think part of it is fueled by what you said and what they're alluding to in the show. Um, she suspects he lied to her, but she doesn't know and she hasn't asked him. So
She
I feel
did.
like they could communicate a little better. They don't communicate very much.
Yeah. So that there's a girl with a bunch of a lady in that's coming to hunt Joel, I guess, for killing somebody that she knew. Am I right about that? That lady,
So the five like people at the end that are
fireflies?
hunting him,
Are those fireflies? Yeah,
yeah, they're fireflies. I think they're survivors from the hospital.
from where he took Ellie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then
Because
we
it
got
said they've been hunting him for 5 years, apparently.
yeah, this it was a 5 year jump, correct? From where
Yeah,
we left.
yeah. Which
Um
um I think I've never played the games, so the video games, so I don't know if they did a 5 year jump from season one to season two in the games. But I was wondering if they did that just because they waited so long and Ellie got older, the actress, and so they had to do something because she was obviously older.
I think a lot of this show, like I know they go off of the storyline of the video game, but I know a lot is tweaked. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure. She looked pretty young still to me. Like she looked like I remember. How long was this show off the air? 2 or 3 years did it take? I don't know. I
Oh
think it
man, it
came.
was.
I guess 20. It's 2025. You think 2022 is when it came out?
I do. I
Yeah,
do.
that's long. And then we got these zombies though, man.
Oh man, they're smart. It's
Yeah, and then
crazy.
they're growing into the compound now too. They're coming in through the pipes or something.
Yeah, they've got their
They're
little
fungi.
tentacles. What are they? They got these little tentacles that they can extend like forever and they can like sense sound and stuff, right? And
Yeah.
like and they can be such a long ways away and they're like detecting it, I guess. Pretty crazy.
This Do you think this is the scariest apocalypse situation we've been hit with? Like these zombies are way more advanced than I don't know, The
World War
Walking Dead
Z was
or
pretty bad.
what's the Zombieland? They're way better than that.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't watch World War Z. That's with Brad Pitt, correct?
Y yeah. Yeah, and it's wait, is it Brad Pitt?
I think so. Is it Will Smith?
Who's the Scientology one?
Tom Cruise?
It's Tom Cruise.
No, it's
Or
Brad Pitt, brother.
is it Brad Pitt? Okay. Those only the only ones they don't attack are terminally sick people. But they're so fast, but it's also not a good movie. We don't have to count that.
Okay. Well, one of these zombies got her girl, clipped her up. I'm, she made the scar so people couldn't tell she was bitten. I'm guessing the cat's going to get out of the bag. Though that's the whole point of her getting bit to start the new season.
That's going to be the drama because they don't want people to know that she's immune. Um, man, when that thing was chasing her around, like crawling on the floor, at
Yeah.
first I was like, is her friend playing a prank on her?
I thought her
Because
friend had. Keep going, keep going.
just because I've never seen like the zombies in season one didn't move like that. They were dumb. They might have been fast, but they were dumb.
Well, it almost looked like it wasn't even a zombie completely yet. It was like it was, I don't know. I thought it was someone that had just been bitten and was still like had their human brain a little bit or something in there that was I didn't know what was going on. I just knew our girl was in some shit. And she was.
And it's crazy. Because whatever this what is it? I guess it's a fungus, right?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
can't remember.
whatever this is, like exists in real life,
Yes.
and it can only affect like ants and insects, I think.
Correct.
But Imagine, man. I might look in. I might see if there's some documentaries or videos I can watch on this because it's scary, man.
You thinking we
Just
should dissect some people and see if it works on them out here?
no, no. I don't want to open that can of worms.
Mhm.
I think we should have all of our best minds in the world working on this right now to make sure it never happens to us.
Maybe eliminate it is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Eradicate
Well,
it from the universe, please and thank you.
take it to Mars with you, Elon. Drop
Yeah.
it off there and leave
Yeah,
it.
drop it off there, see what happens. They can roam, they can have Mars if they want. If that's the trade-off we need to make.
Uh, you don't see yourself ever going to Mars, do you, Cody?
I'm an earthling through and through. What about you?
I think if I was about 75 or 80 years old and there was a settlement on Mars and I had to live my life and I was okay with not making it back, I might would go check it out for I don't know. I'd like to think maybe it's a week trip by then. But also I
You don't
don't
want to
have
die out there.
no, I don't have any I guess drive or I don't know to chase space, man. I'm perfectly content with the way gravity is down here and the way life is, and it's not. I'm not itching to get out there. Is what I'm gonna say, but I'm also not saying never.
Wow.
Um,
I'm not super firm on this, but I'm almost of the belief that, you know, if God wanted us on another planet, he'd have put us there.
mm,
I think we could spend a little less time worrying about the like what do they call it when you get
Milky
outside of
Way.
sure, yeah, or like I just think we should
We
worry
got.
more about Earth.
You're
You
saying
know,
we got more to do here first, huh,
we got
Cody?
more problems here. Like I don't want to. Who cares? We see, find a new planet. Who cares? You ain't going there. You know.
There ain't no people there either, so that's the main thing.
Yeah.
If they were aliens, that's a reason to go. But
Yeah.
just a new I don't know game is what it feels like. We're playing a little game to see if we can live on Mars.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Do you see this show? What do you see happening next week, Cody? I counted it up last night or not last night, Sunday night. This is going to get us all the way into June.
Man,
If we get if we
this show
get
is good.
eight episodes, I'll be locked in every Sunday.
Show's really good. I may go back and watch season one. Um, Show's really good. I think towards the end of it, someone is gonna find out she got bit. Um,
Next episode,
yeah, I think so.
yeah,
And
I think
then
it's
I
going to
think
be Dana.
they'll keep it under wraps for a little bit, and then it'll come out for everyone to know, surely. But those people that are hunting Joel are in Wyoming. I
We're
feel
going,
like that may be. I hope that's not the climax of the season, like
yeah.
the fight between them and Joel, but it could be. I don't think that's going to come to a head next week, but
I just I feel like every week, especially in season one, you didn't really know what was going to happen next in the episodes. You just knew it was going to have you, on the edge of your seat, intense and kind of making your skin crawl in some sort of way. That's normally what happens every episode, but you normally can't. Like sometimes one doesn't even have anything to do with the previous episode. It's like I don't
yeah,
know,
like
like
that episode about the couple, like the gay couple that they met in I
hmm
forget what state, but that was a whole episode devoted to those guys.
yeah.
Um,
I don't
it was
think
yeah,
we're getting something like that. I think it's gonna tie into to what we've seen last week, at least some. I'm guessing it's going to pop off though. I think I'm trying to find or who's going to backstab us in this compound and really throw us, probably put us out of the compound at some point. Man, there's no way
Maybe
they too good to be true right now in this little world they're living in.
is the therapist. Joel killed her husband.
Which
I
I
don't
don't
think we know.
remember.
I don't think we know. I
Yeah.
think it was in the 5 year time lapse, and we don't really know.
I
Um,
don't know who it is yet, Cody. I think it could be Dina.
mm,
I
yeah, it
think
could be.
she could figure out that our girl's immune and love can blind people, Cody, and she might take advantage of whatever situation, which we'll see. I hope not because I like Dina, but I got my I, I'm on the out. I'm looking out for some enemy out there against our team because I know they're out there.
I hope we don't know who the ultimate like villain is or the ultimate conflict for this season yet. I hope it's crazy. It's just we knew what to expect a little bit in season one because it's like, okay, we are getting her across the country. Like that is our purpose. I don't know what our purpose is right now. What's our direction? Where
Yeah,
are we going? You know? So
and I want our Joel and Ellie on better terms. That's ultimate.
ASAP. When okay, when that dude mouthed off at Ellie and Dina and Joel
Hmm.
pushed him down, and then she yelled at Joel and said, "I don't need you to protect me."
Yeah,
That hurt my feelings. I can only imagine how it made Joel feel.
yeah. I wanted to give Joel a hug a few times, man.
Mm-hmm.
He needs
Cause
to hit the bottle or something.
he's just trying his best, man.
Yeah, he's. I'm
Hmm.
surprised he hasn't called it quits on his own terms yet in this world. I ain't gonna lie to you, Cody.
He's had a tough go at it, hasn't he?
And if Ellie doesn't help him, I don't know how you could talk him off the ledge anymore. As long as I guess he's got his brother at least.
Yeah, the Ellie and Joel relationship needs to be mended, and I think it will be, but I don't think it's going to be in episode two. I think
Yeah.
that's going to take a little while.
What's they're gonna
I
start
can
mending
take,
it, and then she's gonna find out that he killed everybody for her, and she's gonna hate him again, and we're gonna have to go through it all over again.
which is like, why would you hate me for that? I saved your life.
Yeah.
That's still,
Um.
man, I need someone to explain that to me like I'm a child. Why in that hospital was the only way to like extract her blood and figure out what's in it that allows her to be immune? Why do you have to take all of it? That makes no sense to me.
I
Because
think.
if you take a little bit at the time, she's gonna produce more, and then you can take more later. It's a never ending supply if you just take a little bit at a time.
I'm gonna just go with because they're villains, man. They were bad.
Bad people.
Yeah, they didn't want to save.
They didn't want the cure. That's what
No,
it
they didn't.
is.
Yeah,
They're gonna throw that blood out the window or
it was
down the
all
drain.
nonsense.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it had to be.
Checking in. Any more thoughts on Last of Us? Episode 1, season 2, Cody.
Excited for episode two. That's all.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll see him on Sunday.
Hmm.
Checking in on the UFL before we get to our segment here. Uh, week 3, the showboats, my showboats, put up a hell of a fight. I did not watch, but we only lost by 1 this week. Fall to 0-3, but trending in the competitive direction. You know what I'm saying, Cody? We're showing a little bit of life. Um, I feel a victory coming is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And once you get one, we all know how that goes. It can change. It can change so many things. It could change next year or this year.
You
but I
you
feel it's
probably need
going.
you probably need to win out at this point.
The season's gone.
Yes.
It's
Like it's
five
over.
and five. No, it's over. Yeah, it's over. But let let's play for each other and let's play for the city of Memphis
Mhm.
and let's play for some pride and try to find 3 wins with the rest of this season and carry it forward until this league is dismantled because I fear there's only about one more
And
year after that. I think this could be the last
it's
year.
losing steam. That's for sure. It's on a downward trend. Um, I, I'll say this, as a DC Defenders fan, I've also not watched a game, uh, but they are 3-0, best team in the league according to the record. They're the only undefeated team in the league, and I'm expecting a championship at this point. But I want to just get this out there to God, um, and say, if I have any say in this, I want my championship to come from a different team. I'd like it to come from the Carolina Panthers. Uh, and if not them, I'd like it to come to the North Carolina State basketball team. And if not them, I'll settle for the Atlanta Braves. Um, and if not them, the Carolina Hurricanes. Because if I
but
get a championship, I'm not getting another one. You
well,
know that,
sometimes
right?
I've heard it comes in waves, man.
You think it comes in threes?
It comes in threes. Uh-huh. So don't
If
we can spin it
if it
wrong any
comes
way
in
we need it.
threes, if it comes in threes, they can go ahead and win one, and that's fine. But that would still
It
that
could
would mean the next
mean
two would be Hurricanes and Braves, and then the Panthers still don't get one.
it comes in threes for the city of DC though.
Ooh,
And which would mean maybe the Caps followed up and polished off by the commies in the fall. Uh, because it
a lot
ain't
of
the Nats. I'll
a
tell
lot
you
of
that.
a lot of uncertainty then here.
Yeah, I get it though. I'm happy you got that out there because
Mhm.
people needed to know where you stood. And
Yeah.
congrats on another victory.
Mhm.
Um, I think you got silver last year, Cody, or was it the year before the Defenders got silver?
I don't think it was last year, but they were decent last year.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
they
they might
got
have won it.
silver.
I'm pretty sure they lost it one year, and they were like 9-0 or 9-1. Uh, Michigan Panthers beat the Brahmas. San Antonio. Have you seen the kicker for the Brahmas? It's like a streamer destroying, I think.
He's that guy. I've seen that guy. Is he
But
doing good in the games?
he's 5 out of 7 so far this year with a long of 55 yards.
I've seen him on the internet before.
I think he's missed both his misses are 50 plus. He
Okay.
in the and when he made the 55 yarder, it was probably good from 65. It's pretty crazy. It makes me think like kicker should be a lot easier to figure out. I know we've talked about this, but you see the kickers in this league, even if you can make 5 out of 7 and make a 55 yarder, I just don't get how an NFL kicker ever misses a 50 yarder. You know what I'm saying?
If your misses are like 54 plus, I can live with that. I want a kicker who 52 yards and in is almost automatic. I want him over 90%. I want him 100% inside of 45.
Hmm.
One, maybe two kicks a whole season inside of 45. And then that 45 to 52 range, if you can if you can get me 85 or 90%, I'd say 90, I can live with that. And then, once you're 55 plus, that's cherry on the top, man. But we've got to be better, I would say, from like 50 to 52 yards and in. That's where I need you to be almost lights out.
It
Uh,
felt. the
I've
first
never
about
had a kicker like that, man.
the first 6 weeks of the season, that people were complaining kickers were too good. Um, 6, 7 weeks of the I'm still on the market for a kicker as of today, Cody. Um, draft NFL draft it starts next Thursday. I'm not saying we should pick one Thursday night, but by the end of the weekend, I want one because I love. Well, I'm not gonna say I love them but you know, cool story about my OCD kicker. I just don't want my OCD kicker. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a hell of a story. Um, just doesn't make
Yeah,
me
he
comfortable,
he
Cody. It doesn't
he
make
makes
anybody
you
feel
so nervous.
comfortable. I don't. I can't. I did it long enough, and we got away with it. As doink to win against the Bucks, but I don't want. I don't want to see him trot out in a Super Bowl or to go to the Super Bowl and he's pushing his hair over and over and
You have
over
to
and it's
burn a timeout
all
because he can't get his hair right.
and then all it takes is one miss and it'd be easier if someone choked and was an OCD because you know I'm going to blame it on his OCD when he misses it eventually and everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't I
It's
want to
really
fix
safe
it
for
before it
the
gets worse.
organization and the front office to get away from him because it's going to cause less blame on them.
Well,
Even if
he's signed, he's on the roster, but let's bring in some competition.
I want, I want a new kicker, man, and I wish I could pick him. I would go out and find him, Jay. He ain't a football player right now. He's either in
Yeah.
Europe or he's in
Hmm.
South America, and he's a soccer player. He's never even seen
Preferably South
American
America.
football.
Yeah.
He's never seen an American football. And you just hold tryouts, man. One of them's going to be good. And then you give them $1 million and put them on an NFL team, maybe you pick someone coming from a rough neighborhood, man, and, was living paycheck to paycheck. That's more pressure than kicking in a game to those guys.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Just a silly little game.
Yeah.
This ain't.
A game they don't even care about, dude.
Yeah.
They don't care about football.
Your
That's
parents
perfect.
don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. You're just here to kick it through the upright.
Yeah. He's probably like, this is so easy. I can't believe they pay me to do this.
Y'all are so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
So,
you'd grow to love that game so quickly because it's the best game in the world.
yes, correct.
Um, anything else on the UFL? And this talk just made me want it to be football season. But
Hmm. Hmm.
I got a question for you, Cody, before we get out of here, brother.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
What is on your mind?
Mm. Um, this one came to me yesterday. Um, and it's something that's bothered me for a really long time, and I'm glad I thought of it to bring it up here. Uh, I would like to impose an age cap or limit on using the self checkout in the grocery stores because
Go ahead,
this,
brother.
yeah. This only has to happen to you once, man, and you'll feel strongly about it. But I'm in the grocery store. There's four self checkouts. Two of them are being held up by these senior citizens. I think they were married. I don't know why they're using their own machines, both of them, but neither of them could figure it out. And I sat there for probably 2 or 3 minutes, man. And then the lady had to come over and help them, and it was just holding everything up. And I think we cap it. I think we cap it at 62 years old.
I think
Um,
younger, man.
I could call it 60, and that may sound unfair, man, because we've all met old people. There's some old people, you got grandparents out there that they're very much still with it. They're still with the times. They know how to work their iPhones. Um, they can work new technology. They get around well. This is not directed at them, but I just think you can't. there's no way to do some sort of cognitive test for every elderly person in the world to determine whether they're able to do their own self checkout. So I think we just cut it at 62. And if you're older, tough luck. You got to go through the line. Um,
Yeah, well, how many old people you think walk in, dude, and they're just like, there's no one here to check, like just pissed when they see they got to go through that self checkout line, man.
yeah, but I mean, the thing was, the grocery store I was at had other lines that were open.
Mm.
Um, and I'm sure they meant well. I am not mad at these old people, but you just got to get out of the way, man. We don't we don't have time for it.
Do you
It's
think
it's too challenging, I guess, for people who just aren't used to newer things and technology, man. Um, we just can't have it. Maybe they should have their
why
own, give them their own line in the grocery store.
give them their own grocery store too, Cody?
Yeah, or
In,
give them
in
their own
in the
grocery store.
over 55 grocery store, just like they have the communities for the elderly, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I'm all for accommodating to them, but
uh-huh.
we got younger people who are moving way faster, and I feel the same way about gas stations and people who want to go to the gas station and buy about 30 lottery tickets and hold up the whole line. Can't stand it, dude. They should
Crash
have
them and
their
get
own,
right back in line.
yeah, they should have their own gas station, their own place. It could probably even be a kiosk. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. And you're just holding up everyone else that, are buying a Gatorade. One Gatorade should be quick. So,
Do you think the people you saw in this scenario, do you think they thought it was a good time to maybe learn the self checkout and that's why they did it, or and they're just trying to test themselves and get better, or why wouldn't they just go to a regular checkout?
I
Maybe
think
they thought it was
these
quicker.
I think these two particular individuals just kind of had tunnel vision and they saw a checkout and they're like, this is where I need to go. I don't think they knew there were other checkouts available. And the lady was the worst. She was like, couldn't get stuff to scan. And then once it's scanned, continue to pay, you tap through it. She just had no clue, like, no clue. And the older man, so the employee helped the lady. And then she went on, and the older man was still there with like a loaf of bread. He'd been trying it for a few minutes, and she had to help him too. It's we're not doing these people any favors, man. But
Mm-mm.
like, let's give them their own line, give them their own store, accommodate to them. They've been, they've served, they probably worked their whole lives. Great people, just great people. Let's make it easier for them while also
Mhm.
making it faster for everyone else.
Y- You're exactly right, man. And it's that simple, Cody. It can be done.
Yeah, it can't be.
It ain't going to Mars. I'll tell
No,
you that much.
no, no. But now that I'm off my soapbox, Jay, I think it's your turn, brother. What's on your mind?
Well, I got a few things. I'm gonna save one, I guess, for next week. Just because it's time, man. We normally try to. I wish I would have given the people a warning a little bit sooner, but it's summertime is about 45 days away. Um, you're out of time. This is your last warning. If you want to do anything to prepare yourself for when you shed your tarp out there under the sun next to the pretty women, now's your time to maybe eat a little less, sweat a little more before drop the 10, 15 lbs that you just want to get out of the way. You got time to do that at the
Mm-hmm.
minimum. You could lose 15 pounds before summertime. uh it'll be tough, but I'm just warning the world, man, and the people. This is your last warning before it's going to be too late, and you're on the boat, and you're gonna be wishing maybe you took action before. Just go ahead and get it out of the way now, and we'll let you know when it's time to start chowing down and putting those pounds back on. Maybe even putting 30 pounds on. If you lose 15, you can eat that much more to
Mm,
get back into fighting shape. Come well, not daylight savings time anymore, but
just
winter time,
fall.
Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football
Bathing,
season. You know how the food starts tasting come
it gets
September, man.
it gets colder. You start wearing those layers. No one can see what you got going on
Uh-huh.
under those layers. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, bathing suit season is, I mean, it's upon us.
Hmm.
So you're probably too late. I want to, since you brought that up, I'd like to also remind everybody because no one's experienced their first burn yet this summer. Sunscreen, sunscreen.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes, sometimes the right option is to wear a shirt over getting burnt if you forgot your sunscreen. So
Hmm.
let's take care of our skin as well.
Yep. Drink a lot of water as well,
Hmm.
Cody. You want to be hydrated because that sunburn is going to dehydrate you.
Yeah.
So that's about it, man. That's what's on my mind. I just wanted to help people out, and I feel like that's all you wanted to do. That's all we all want to do when it comes to what's on our mind normally, man.
That's it.
It's not time to gloat. It's time to tell people what they need to hear.
Inform,
Yeah.
teach,
Uh,
educate.
that's the Wednesday podcast. Wednesday, happy Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Uh,
Happy
Day
Wednesday
late,
morning. Hump day.
hump day,
Halfway through the week.
halfway through the month.
Bingo. Yeah. Hope you did your taxes.
Yeah, or
If you
filed
did,
an extension.
if you didn't do your taxes, by the time you're hearing this, it is too late. But I think the 15th you can do your extension, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. I guess that's a
Well,
wrap.
next
No
week,
questions?
no. Let me make sure, but I'm almost positive. No questions. Yeah, no questions, brother.
No questions other than where's our podcast? We got a lot of those questions today. Thank you.
And it's here.
Yeah. Thank you for those. We will see you guys next week.
Toodaloo.